Hi, this is Griff, and today I'm joined with Stuart Reichenbach. He's the Senior Director of Shipping here at eBay, and to be expected, we are receiving a lot of questions from our seller community about shipping during the pandemic. We've done a check-in a few weeks ago with Stuart, but as things are evolving quickly, we want to make sure that our sellers have the latest and greatest information and updates. Thanks for joining us today, Stuart.
Hey, Griff, good to see you and great to be back.
Things must be busy for you and your team right now. I know we're all working from home. How's that working out for you?
Griff, like you mentioned, we talked a couple of weeks ago, maybe a bit longer, and really it's more of the same. I think we're all finding that every one of us finding that right balance, right, between taking care of everything that has to happen with the office and work and our personal lives, and certainly the interesting times of COVID and shipping are our top priority. It's a daily focus for our team, a daily exercise to understand, changes in the carrier networks, what's happening with volumes, on time percentages. And so we're talking with the carriers every day. We look at our own internal data and we pull it all together, and really on a daily basis, we're then making recommendations up to Jordan and our leadership team on things that have to change as we think about delivery to our buyers. And of course, we're still working on all the other things we've got to work on, initiatives to keep the machine rolling into the future, but for sure it's a busy time.
What are the biggest changes, Stuart, that have occurred during the pandemic when it comes to shipping? What are the things we're seeing?
Yeah. So I think I mentioned last time, the carriers were all deemed, carriers, UPS, FedEx, USPS, and others were all deemed essential services. And so that's been a really important thing. And they've been working really hard. Of course, the landscape has changed and it's challenged for sure. COVID related issues like restrictions in hotspots in specific areas of the country that we've all heard about. The carriers focus on employee safety, absenteeism that's obviously occurred are making consistent on-time delivery more and more difficult. And I think on top of this, even more so than when we talked last time, there's been an incredible continuing surge in e-commerce overall and in volume that is now really above peak levels for all three carriers. And really a lot of that is being delivered into the home delivery network. And so there's a real challenge for the carriers to adopt resources to deal with that type of volume and the challenges I mentioned. Early on, FedEx and UPS both removed their guaranteed service, which they did so that they could have more flexibility, right, to serve the overall marketplace. USPS, maybe about a month ago now, announced changes to their service standards, adding a day to most first-class packages and priority mail transit times. So certainly a lot of changes there. From our perspective, we've urged sellers to really think about using the free home pickup service through USPS. So you don't need to leave your home, right? Make it more convenient for yourself. It's available to about 98% of the zip codes across the country. There's no limit on the number of packages that can be picked up. Really convenient to print a prepaid eBay label to make that service happen. And then FedEx and UPS offer really great convenient mix of both branded stores and third-party drop-off locations. So think about those networks, check out their sites for the full list. And both UPS and FedEx, if you've got a business account, they'll do pickup for you at home as well. And then on our end, Griff, as I've mentioned, we've been working with the carriers daily to understand changes in the network so that we can make appropriate changes to the estimated delivery dates we show your buyers, our sellers' buyers. And that's a really important exercise that's fluid and that we do every day.
Yeah, those local pickup for the carriers, it's really important. I talk to too many sellers who simply don't take advantage of that, and it's a real time saver, and now it can actually be a lifesaver since you're not having to make that trip to the post office.
Absolutely.
I believe that some international routes have been closed as well. I know that I've heard from sellers who say that they've had their exclusion lists added too. How has this impacted the eBay service provision?
Yeah. So, absolutely, the international space and landscape, I think, is even more challenged than the domestic space, and continues to be. Early on, the amount of airline capacity that's used to carry packages across the world to destination countries was greatly reduced. That's still in place, and many post offices around the world have closed and or just placed restrictions on their operations. And so all of this has led to lane closures and delays. Today, we've suspended U.S. exports to 140 countries. So that's a lot of countries. And when we say we've suspended, we're actually blocking buyers from completing transactions when the buyer's in one of those impacted countries and the items here in the U.S. Now, it's a lot of countries, but I'll also say they're smaller countries and they make up a very small percentage of our sellers' exports. So let's keep that in mind. Most major corridors are still open. And from the very beginning, we've been adjusting and adding days to our estimated delivery dates that the buyer sees to reflect the delays in air capacity and postal operators operations that I mentioned earlier. Our global shipping program, GSP, that many of our sellers use, is still fully operational. Great to continue using that. And if you're not a GSP in the GSP program, but you ship directly, which a lot of our sellers do, many sellers, and you typically use the USPS service, we really suggest that sellers take a look at our eBay International Standard Delivery shipping option. Instead, it's a great program we introduced. Should call it a service that we introduced earlier this year. And the reliability of that program is really strong. So take a look at that.
So you mentioned that we're adding dates onto estimated delivery time. A lot of sellers are they're getting reports and they're hearing about USPS packages still in transit beyond the time frames. So I it's a good thing we're doing that. But what can sellers do to reassure buyers that if their package is a little late, the reason why, and it will get there? Are there things that sellers can do?
Yeah. So let me yes, and I'll answer that, but let me go a little broadly with it. So absolutely, there's disruption and delays in all the carrier networks. We know we're going to see it. USPS is experiencing delays primarily in some of the more heavily impacted areas by COVID-19, those deemed hotspots. And as a result, as I said, we've been changing the estimated delivery dates that buyers see throughout this time period. I think as a seller, though, the most important thing that you can do is ship the item out on time. Whatever you've specified, make that happen. And again, to our point earlier, use that USPS pickup service if you use USPS. And you do what you guys need to do from that perspective. Now, we know your challenge getting the package into the system isn't the only challenge out there. And so I said we've been adjusting EDDs. We are aware some packages, though, are in transit are well beyond the expected delivery dates. We also know it's a very small percentage of overall shipments, and it can still be a challenge. So in addition to the changes there we've made, we're also protecting sellers against defects and holding our INRs open for 10 full days after the delivery date. So I think a combination of all those things, let's handle on time. We'll continue to adjust the delivery day estimates, and then we've got a 10-day window for that INR to resolve itself. On top of that, one of the great things that sellers do is communicate with buyers. Continue to do that if sellers are seeing something different.
Yeah. You talked about the guaranteed delivery program, and that's a great program. Will guaranteed I'm sorry, let me restate this. Will guaranteed delivery be removed on listings during the pandemic? So, we guarantee that packages will arrive during a specific amount of time. Sellers are wondering if we'll remove that.
Yeah. So guaranteed on time. The majority of our items that are bought today are still arriving within the time frame that we've specified to buyers. And we're going to continue to use the eBay guaranteed delivery logo because we want to show buyers where we absolutely know that can happen. With that said, based on the changes that are taking place with the networks and as we work closely with the carriers, we're gonna restrict the number of items that see guaranteed delivery. So it'll still be out there, but at this point, the frequency at which buyers will see it'll be reduced.
Should should sellers be worried about being protected during this period of time? For example, for INRs, items never received, or which get filed even if the item is still in transit sometimes, but late. All this due to the COVID-19 pandemic. These shipping delays, do we protect sellers against these in the way of defects or cases?
Absolutely. I think that's been announced early on that we were protecting sellers on defects for 90 days. So any missteps here in this space will be wiped away. They're not held against the sellers. And I believe just yesterday we announced and communicated that those same protections would be extended through July 20th.
eBay, Stuart, uses historical data to determine when sellers have to ship items, when using, for example, 2-day handling, the expected ship date, what it's going to be, and the expected delivery date are the same. Why does eBay do this?
So um, our estimated delivery dates are based on sellers' historical trends, buyer and seller location, what the carriers typically do. Across all that, our sellers only accountable to shipping an item within the handling time they state, right? So we realize if our models make an estimate that appears faster, given all of those elements, it can cause a little bit of churn with buyers. We're aware of that, and we're working daily, even outside of COVID, to just continue to adjust those estimates to make sure that we keep up with what sellers are doing and with what our carriers are doing, and hit that delivery date.
Stuart, one last initiative we most definitely should touch on here because it's brand new and a lot of sellers have question about it is the eBay International Standard Delivery Program, which we announced just recently. How has this new program been going through the pandemic, and why isn't this program impacted by the country closures that the other carriers are experiencing?
Yeah, great question, actually. So eBay International Standard Delivery is a service that we launched in the beginning of this year. Um, it's a cost competitive, reliable international service that works with a really simplified rate structure and offers our sellers even additional protections compared to what they get when they ship with USPS or some of the other international shipping options on site. Um, the program's been growing daily since we launched earlier this year. Increasing number of sellers are using it every week. In a really short period of time, we're north of 50,000 sellers using the program. We're shipping to 170 countries and to date to more than 180,000 buyers. So the program's been really, really well received. And I should say I don't want to call it a program. I want to call it a service. It's a transportation delivery service that eBay has launched. Um, it's been great. We're going to continue to work on refining the program to make the most competitive, reliable delivery service our sellers have seen. You asked about how it's performed during COVID. Look, it's no different than some of the other services. We still use planes and we still use delivery companies in destination countries. So we've had a slowdown. We've had to extend some of our delivery dates, but it's performed far more reliably than anything else out there. And again, we stand behind and back through protections. what we say we're going to do. So we really encourage our sellers to take a hard look at it now, particularly during COVID, if you might be experiencing challenges in some of your other options.
One of the questions that I get since the introduction of the international delivery option is, well, which one should I use, international delivery or the global shipping program? Which one is going to work better for me, especially during this unusual time? What should we tell sellers?
So the programs are a little bit, they're fundamentally different, I would say. They're the same in that we both of them ship packages to an international buyer. The global shipping program is really what we call a delivered duty paid solution, where the buyers are going to pay for duty and taxes up front. It's really a full service solution. The eBay International Standard Delivery, the typical USPS product that people use, is a delivered duty unpaid solution. And so take a look at it, both of them. But again, we'd encourage folks to look at our eBay International Standard Delivery if they're not using GSP today. If they're using something else, not GSP, take a look at eBay International Standard Delivery as an alternative. It's a really great service.
And if you're using GSP and you're using it successfully, keep using that.
Keep doing it, and it may apply, and you may be a seller that says, "Hey, there's application for both here." Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, Stuart, I want to thank you. I know it's even though we're working from home, it's still a really busy time, and especially for the shipping team with all that's going on. So we really appreciate you taking time today to address these questions from sellers. All of these questions have come through from the community, by the way. Thanks again, Stuart.
Griff, thank you, and thanks to all our sellers.
And you can. Sellers, for the latest updates, we urge you to stay connected on Community and Seller Center, where you can get all the latest updates about COVID and shipping on the COVID response pages that you'll find there. Stuart Reichenbach is the Senior Director of Shipping at eBay, and he's been speaking with us and helping to address some of the questions you have about shipping during the pandemic.